Hello, everybody.
Hi, can you hear me?
I can. How you doing?
Thanks, Dave. Yeah, 16-hour days. I'm exhausted. I'm not switching video because I'm in such a state.
I hope your 16-hour days are because there's money at the end of it and not just busy.
Uh, yeah, yes, but eventually. So
Yeah.
uh, I'm just like I feel like I'm running as fast as I possibly can, but I'm moving inches.
So it's quite interesting you say that because I've spoken to quite a few people also recently, and it seems like the last 2 months it just seems like there's been this pickup with the running state. Before that, it was like the year was just floating along for everybody, ticking along, and then I don't know, September, October, suddenly it's gone mad. Um, it seems quite common. I've seen that quite a bit with quite a number of people.
It's with my industry. I don't know who's all listening. Probably everyone's listening, but I have two main models. So one would be to build the affiliate program, and then we
Yeah,
manage it on a monthly basis. So then there's a monthly fee.
yeah,
That's I'm actually busy in implementing my own affiliate program for that because it's good revenue for other people that refers people to me.
yeah.
But there's another side of this, which I am going to nip in the bud really quickly, and that is to create the affiliate programs, but then we take a percentage of the affiliate. So I know that is generating um, recurring income, and that was the basis of it. But the amount of work,
Ah,
the layout in the startup to do it in the beginning, and then the amount of work to do it, and then obviously to manage these programs does not really warrant the percentage that we're getting. So I'm re-looking at restructuring that a little bit. I haven't got it. I haven't got the sweet spot yet, but right now I'm telling you, I just want to I haven't cleaned my kitchen in 2 days.
remind me not to come for dinner.
I'm a trained chef, so you would have been, I would really.
Okay, in that case, can I come for dinner?
I'll let you know. It's going to be a fun dining experience, and it will be like beginning next year. Not
Okay.
right.
So sounds like a plan. All right, I don't know how many more folks we're gonna get in. I think we've done a little bit of chit chat. Let's see if they join, they join. So we knew we'd be down today. So this is now where we start to get to the people that stick it out. Now we're starting to get to the A team now. So we'll see how this progresses, but a smaller group actually for this is going to be much better than what we started with last week. But that's all good. Do any of you have any questions before we kick off that you want to ask?
I'm good. I'm good.
All right. Let me let's share a screen here.
People that I'm sad that's dropped off.
You never know. Like sometimes they're off temporarily. We'll have to see. Let me just quite nicely. Right, yeah, myself. Okay. All right, I think for now, if you guys just mute yourselves, actually, you're all going to get a chance to speak fairly shortly. So obviously, we decided last week to change the format, and on thinking about it, it actually makes quite a lot of sense for us to do that. That doesn't mean that we'll lose that ability to chat and to network. We'll just do it slightly differently. And it just gives everybody that opportunity, maybe to go and to do everything at home. So what I would say is, if you can, put your cameras on so that you can all see each other. That's the whole point, is that we get to know each other through this process. And let's jump into it. So today we're going to talk about magic message. Now, towards the end of last week, obviously everybody was more interested in chatting to one another than we were in terms of doing homework. So we changed the process, and we sent you home to do this. Okay, so just a quick reminder on this. We spoke about this idea of picking the niche. So hopefully you guys have done your homework, and we'll have an opportunity quickly now to go around the room to talk about it, and then just I'll be able to help you guys out a little bit in terms of the feedback. So I think that's one of the advantages we get with changing the format a bit. So we'll have a lot more time to have a bit more interaction. So we spoke about external niches last time. So the external factors, that's the stuff we can see and touch. So this would be things like industry, job title, how long people have been in the game, how many staff members, and all sorts of other demographics. So this is something that's tangible for us to define, and also easy for us to find on LinkedIn. The internal was where you were looking at yourself at your own superpower, to see where you've got big advantage over everybody else. So where do you stand out against the rest of the competitors that you have that are doing what you do? And all of us have got something that we're just better at than anybody else. So what is that? And then we've also got, for those of us that have got existing businesses, you have that opportunity to really look at your existing clients, because existing clients represent success, right? They're there already, and really it's quite a simple matter. Is trying to firstly determine why you are successful by having those clients. So what makes them ideal clients, and then saying, well, how do we get more clients like that? And obviously we had a look at it and we said, whatever goes in the middle here, particularly right in the middle there, that's a really, really good spot to choose a niche, right? So let's go into that. Let me pop this back here, and stop the share. So let's pop around the table. So Delane, you first. on my screen anyway. I don't know what to say with everybody else. So tell us who your niche is, your ideal client. First, you should put your microphone on. Are you winning there? Your mic's still on mute. No. Don't know why. All right. While you try and work that out, let's move on to Marion. Marion, we can't hear you either. What's happening here?
And that mine was simple. I forgot.
So yours really was on mute. I was starting to panic. I was thinking, oh, shit, maybe there's a bigger problem at play here.
Yeah.
Sorry, I should have said, so when you introduce yourself, just introduce yourself. Tell us what you do, just very briefly at this point, and then who your ideal client is.
Okay, I call myself a transformational mindset coach. I work a little differently to others in that I work directly with this. I use tools that work directly with the subconscious mind to shift emotional and issues and limiting beliefs. I found it, I don't know how, I don't work within a specific industry. Looking at my existing clients, I also do aromatherapy and craniosacral therapy, so my client base is mixed. It's not only people who come for coaching, but the majority of my clients are either solopreneurs or retired. So finding an industry is difficult.
Okay.
I'm currently focusing on helping people who know they need to go there, know that using video will attract more clients and help them establish an online business, but they are not comfortable and all the way through to being terrified of going on camera. So I help them overcome those issues and get comfortable being on camera without trying to be perfect, just being able to speak with enthusiasm about what they do.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So think about that just for a second. Just take that one simple idea. People comfortable on video. So if you look at that idea and you start to expand it on LinkedIn, your question is going to be, well, who's going to buy that? Remember we spoke about the quote unquote niche being the group of individuals with a very a specific set of characteristics that they're all kind of the same, that your product or service is the most ideal to solve. So it's really quite a simple matter. It's just reverse engineer that and say, okay, well, who needs to be on video? So technically anybody is a content creator. Go onto LinkedIn, look at people that are creating content, reach out to them, particularly people who are not doing video, right? Who are only posting. So, and you'll probably find that there's certain industries that do more than others, right? So that's a really, really nice, easy entry for you. Even though you've got a lot more that you offer, you're looking at it and saying, you know what, that's an easy win, and that's a good way to get people in the door. So a lot of us will do that. Like we want to go and just do the core thing or a thing that just brings us in the door, and then from there we can build and do the sexy stuff that fulfills us, maybe on the one hand, or maybe that gives us bigger revenue but less of it. But it's nice when it happens. So that should be relatively easy for you to reverse engineer when you start looking at it. All right, cool. Thank you, Marion. Sylvain, are we going to try again? Have you?
Yes, I've sorted out.
There we go. Well done.
Sorry, I still didn't get a webcam, so I'm using my phone, and I've also got it on my computer, so it's a bit confusing. Anyway, hi, I'm Delwyn. I'm owner of a small business doing bookkeeping. My niche market is owners of small service businesses who either don't have any accounting software or are willing to use QuickBooks or are using QuickBooks. So yeah, that's my niche, and I think there's enough business out there. I've just got to grab it.
Okay, so that's kind of cool. It's nice and relatively succinct. I think if you start to dig into it, you'll probably find that you'll be able to define it a little bit more. But I like the fact that you've identified a small business, and I like the fact that you're looking at service businesses. That makes your life a whole lot easier than anything else. And so literally you could go and make a list of the different types of service businesses that are out there, and then when we go onto LinkedIn, you'll see a little bit later on when we get into using some of the filters, and that you can start to find people that have been in business for a short amount of time, so a year, 2 years, etc. You can find people with people that are sole practitioners, and they may be the guys you're looking for, or maybe they've got relatively few staff. So at least I think you're on the right track. So you said, okay, this is my skill set, that's where I'm at. And also I like the fact that you didn't say I'm going to do all sorts of cloud accounting. No, I'm doing QuickBooks. That's it. So you're quite there. Very good though. I promise you will see the more targeted you are, the easier this gets, because like the person that's going to just do anything, you know how hard their life is. This guy comes in, wants to do zero, the other one's pastel. No, this one doesn't want to go into the cloud. I'm happy. I know I'm on Excel. Oh my soul, you drive yourself insane when you're doing that. So okay, well done. Well, thank you. That's all good. So Inga, how's it?
Cool.
My voice might not be working.
That's got nothing to do with your
voice is
your
coming
microphone
on all day, and it's doing this all day. so excuse me if it disappears. I've been trying to rest, but it's not working. So I'm a consultant, right? And I assist people in. I want to make it as small as possible, but I assist people in investing offshore or investing in local property, specifically in property, whether they want to do a development, whether they want to go offshore route and develop, go into offshore UK, UAE, Mauritius property, whatever. And my core focus is really support and guidance, and I think those critical things that get lost in translation when it comes to when you're in a corporate environment. Corporate environments push sale, sale, sale. They push the hard sale. You need to get the numbers over the line. For me, it really is more about a consultative basis and a coaching business, because I understand all the parameters. I understand everything works. I'm an investor myself. So for me, it's easy for them. It's easy to relay that. So my focus is really on building that relationship where they can feel supported. What's my next step? How do I do this? Doesn't matter if you're a multi-million rand owner. I've had multi-million rand owners come to me who've amassed millions and go, I actually don't know how to do this, because that's not their core focus. They might be too busy with their business. They might not know. So you become that representative for them in finding property, sourcing properties, putting deals together for them, putting people together for them so that you can get that. So that's where my core focus is. And I think what I've learned out of my corporate experience, particularly out of my corporate experience, is for me to give a service, a dedicated customer service, a dedicated consultative process where they know that they've got an ear to lean on, whether it's on, the fees are based on, need to know, whatever, you can do it, that type of thing. But it's more on a consultative process where they don't feel alone in the whole procce.
So who's the ideal client then?
Ideal client is your business owner, farmer, your regte Suid-Afrikaanse plaaswoom, who might have sold his farm. He's now got 20, 30 million rand he needs to invest, but he doesn't know what to do with it. He doesn't know how to do it, So yeah, ideal client is a high net worth business owner, farmer, that kind of realm, who really needs the guidance. And you'll be surprised out of a South African point of view how many of those people there are. Because we inherently, as a culture, have a fear of investing money. We have a fear because we don't know. So the unknown is too unknown for us. So what do? We put the brakes on. And I think there's a huge, huge opportunity to open that door for people.
All right, cool. Thank you, Inga. There's some interesting ways for you to dive in and to use LinkedIn. We'll talk a little bit more about them when we get into the weeds a little bit. But I think you've got quite good clarity, it sounds like, in terms of who that person is. It's just how do we find them. So obviously on this program, one of the ideas obviously is that we have these strategic partners. So we'll talk a lot more about that as well, because LinkedIn's like a really good place to build that, and particularly for people like consultants, and actually for all of us, to be honest. There's always other people that are dealing with the same clients that we are that can refer, and so you'll find that makes a huge difference when it comes to.
It makes a huge difference when you build that network and you become collaborative, because go to a networking event and there might not be any business for you in it, but it goes, oh, I know someone you can speak to. I know someone who knows what you need. Oh, you know what, you need to speak to this person, and automatically that relationship has already been built and you've created that. So yes, the establishment of that is very, very important. Collaborating with other people. Yeah, I'm going to stop talking now.
Yeah, I need you fresh for Friday. Stop, rest. Finita, how's it?
Hi. So I offer accounting and booking, accounting services, accounting and virtual CFO services. I do use Xero, and I think my ideal client is, I reworked my entire LinkedIn profile of this, but is impact-driven businesses with 1 to 20 employees older than 3 years. So working in the social impact space, the green economy space. Yeah, that's what.
Okay. that's quite interesting. What just as a matter of interest, why the green economy space? Is obviously a bit of personal passion in there. What's the story?
Yeah, it's just yeah, it's just passion for those industries. Yeah.
All right. So quite an interesting niche again, quite focused, right? So you know, one can think quite specifically when you're starting a little bit later on when we look at filters on that. We can be quite specific in terms of keywords we look for and the types of people that we deal with that would work for. All right, cool. Well, thank you very much. I don't know if William's there or he's ducked under his table. So maybe we'll go to Mari and Gerrit.
Hi, I'm Mari Benardi. I'm an accountant, and my ideal clients would be small and medium companies, 1 to 20 employees. And also, I'm using Zero Cloud Accounting, and yes, I do the financial statements and everything accountants would do.
Do you have any industries that work better for you than others?
I've got more transport companies.
So you've got more what companies?
Transport.
Transport companies. Okay, well there you go. So that's a pretty cool niche. So like, just for everyone here, so you take an accountant. Now, technically, and it probably works for a lot of us, if not all of us. Technically, you can service anybody, right? Bookkeeping is bookkeeping. But what you'll find is that it's kind of based on your own skill set. So as what we were looking at the other day, last week, we were saying, where do we have that experience? There's always going to be certain industries and niches that are just better than others. So I know you can do books for everybody, right? But there's a reason right now that you are doing more transport than anything else. It's kind of a funny thing, right? All of us have a story. We all have a very personal story of how we got to doing whatever it is we're doing now. And some of our stories are like dramatic, right? You heard my story, lost my business. I was an accountant, now I'm in marketing, right? And some people's stories are very unremarkable. They just like, I did this, and now I'm here, right? That happens as well. But the fact of the matter is that everybody has a very unique story in terms of how they got to doing what they're doing. So you have a unique story, like we all do, and how you became an accountant / bookkeeper. And then this transport thing, there's another part of that story as to why you seem to be gravitating towards those people. And then what happens is when you start to gravitate, you suddenly look at it and you say, you know what, I've got 3, 4, 5 transporters. Suddenly you have now become the expert, even though you don't think you're an expert, but you actually are. You are an accounting expert to transport companies. That's what happens. Why? Because once you've done 2 or 3 or 5, guess what? It's the same for all of them. They all have the same problems, the same opportunities, the same issues. They whinge about the same stuff. They have the same objections, the same opportunities. Everything is the same. And so not only does niching help your marketing, but it actually helps your business, as we were talking to Delvin a little bit earlier. So definitely something to think about. So we'll talk more about your story a little bit later. We'll find out why transport is the thing. Gerrit, what about you?
Find yourself.
Lekker, man.
Good. I'm a consulting health and safety auditor. And my niche market would probably be more in the way of manufacturing companies, because that's what I've been doing most of my career. What I do is I consult on people, especially if they need to go international and they need to be on par with international standards like the OSAS 18001 and the ISO 45000, the 14,000, which is environmental, and the 9,000, which is quality. I consult with manufacturing companies that needs to go into certification to help them align their health and safety and structure it in such a way that they actually can get through the audit and get their certification. Else, I'm doing basic consultancy for small manufacturing companies, in the way of they don't have safety officers that have all the knowledge. So what I basically do is I do job safe analysis, where I take one job safe, for instance, a welder, and I make them aware of all the possible risks and hazards that are associated with that specific job, and then I tie it into more of a procedural setup. Follow these safety procedures and to ensure that your guys don't get hurt. Because if a guy gets hurt at work, I mean, everybody thinks, okay, it's just okay, this guy is now hurt, but most people don't seem to think about the hidden costs. Okay, let's say for instance this guy has been injured. Now you have to pay him 75% of his salary. You have to pay someone to replace him for that time of him being in the hospital. Then there is a possibility of fines and things like that, and yeah, it's a whole thing. So I help people to keep their work environment safe in such a way that they don't incur those costs.
Cool. Well, what I like about that, Gerard, so for some of you that don't know, this health and safety is a monster industry, and the reality is, even if you're an accountant, you're supposed to be speaking to him. Most of us don't, because we don't like really appreciate it. We don't take it seriously enough. It's kind of like you were saying. It's like when the poo hits the fan, that's when they call him in, and often it's a bit late. But what I liked about it was that while technically everybody needs your service, the reality is they don't come bashing your door down. But in the manufacturing space, what I liked, A, is that you said you had experience there, but B, it's obviously a space where a lot more can go wrong. And so therefore, you're going to sell a lot more of your service into the space. So that's kind of the instance of looking at the service, looking at the experience and saying, how do I best put the niche together? So I think that was quite well done relative to the exercise that we were doing. And the good news is that they're really easy to find on LinkedIn. So we will do that shortly. All right, cool. William, you thought you were getting away, but no, we've come back to you.
No worries. Just had to make a phone call there. Hope everyone's doing well today. So yeah, to recap, I'm William. I'm in the wealth management space, primarily operating in the offshore piece. So investing guys in Isle of Man, Switzerland, Mauritius, that sort of thing, tax neutral jurisdictions, Forex, all that good stuff. And my ideal client is pretty much business owners, C-suite guys, manager level people. Most of my client base are like small business owners. And generally, yeah, those are my clients, ranging from all industries. I've got guys in mining, digital marketing, lawyers, accountants. So pretty much the whole scope.
So it's kind of cool. So again, your industry is one that doesn't lend itself to a particular industry. But having said that, like if you're dealing with accountants, for example, let's say qualified accountants, like they probably got bucks, in anybody in that space, you'd be looking for business owners, and it wouldn't be any business owner, right? It would have to be someone who's maybe been in it for a while, that's got a reasonable amount of staff. So you're always trying to stack the deck in your favor to say, is this person worth dealing with? So nice that you've got quite a good focus. I think when you get onto LinkedIn,
also, sorry to interrupt you, Jimmy. It's also some of my clients are also accountants in terms of referrals. My
100%.
clients also financial advisors, because I'll be dealing with guys who work for Liberty and they can't exactly do what I do, so they'll refer their clients to me and earn a referral fee off it.
Yeah.
So I also do have relationships with lawyers, accountants, and financial advisors. So those are also my clients in a way.
120%. And in many ways, it's kind of like this idea, and that's really what we're doing here. Is we're going to develop both as we go through. So you have this idea of who your ideal client is, and so in the system that I'm teaching you is you can reach out directly to them, but the longer term play is what we're doing here is, as William was saying, looking at people that can refer and building longer term relationships. So that stuff takes a bit longer to build. But when you've built it, it generates clients literally for a lifetime if you look after it and you value those relationships. So yeah, we'll do some cool stuff for you still before the end of this. Thanks. Christelle, you're up.
Hello, everyone. I am sorry that I didn't join you last week. It was crazy, and then I realized I didn't have a link, but I'm here.
Thank you.
So
good to have you.
thank you. I'm a virtual assistant, and my niche is entrepreneurs, small to medium-sized businesses. My current clientele consists out of healthcare practitioners as well as consultants and in retail. So I'd like to have a bigger range and a wider range. So we'll see how things turn out.
What's the main product or service you provide?
I actually offer a few things, but what our clients are using mostly is content creation and social media management. And then also my virtual PA skills and administration. So I basically run their lives. One of my OTs that I'm helping is, she says, Priscilla, just take my life. Yeah, arrange my bookings, my travel, my conferences, just do it. And I do it for her. So.
Cool. All right. Very, very cool. Okay, I think you've got a reasonable idea. For you, because you can do lots of stuff, and you do, and everybody asks you to do something different. It's kind of hard. I know when we start, we do whatever we have to do to make the money. But like even now, start thinking about like how you can streamline that. And sometimes it's actually good to say, you know what, I don't do that. Sorry, I'm doing content creation or whatever. This is what I do. Might be worth thinking about in the long run, because it's hell of a difficult to be all over the show and difficult to target. But I think you've got some good ideas. Certainly your content marketing becomes quite easy to target. And again, you've got some success in handling the life of busy healthcare professionals. So that gives you an in you know, to take that to the next level. So that's kind of cool. Those, just for what it's worth, the specialist type healthcare professionals, not always that easy to find on LinkedIn. Just because of the nature, like handle my life, right? That's who they are. They are so damn busy. Like LinkedIn is like not on their radar. So that may not be the best market for you to target on LinkedIn. Just saying, right?
The healthcare practitioners were actually referrals. So
okay,
from my consultants, and I was like, really? So yes, I agree. It's difficult to target them on LinkedIn.
All right, we'll talk more about it. But thanks. That gives us quite a nice insight. Richard, you're next.
Thanks, James. So my name is Richard. I'm an attorney by trade. I've previously worked in practice as well as for various companies in-house, but I have my own legal consultancy business as of about a year and a half ago. In terms of my ideal clients, so on my website, I have, so my kind of goal in starting this business was to provide, to be sort of like an outsourced in-house legal counsel for businesses that can't really afford to have their own in-house counsel or the kind of hourly fee charging law firms. So on my website, I have that I service entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, freelancers, consultants, as well as small and scaling businesses. So I found that most of my clients are either businesses that are about to launch, so they need to get their legal frameworks in order, or smaller businesses that need that support in terms of, I would say my skill set, it's setting up legal frameworks for business. So it's getting all the right contracts and agreements in place. It's business structuring. It's getting compliance frameworks in place, as well as just sort of business legal advice. So in terms of that, the industries that most of my clients have tended to be kind of sort of online industries and e-commerce based, because it's more, smaller businesses that are just starting out. But I have clients in other areas, retail, various different things. But I would say that that's the main kind of focus. And I have spent a bit of time in the past trying to narrow down my niche, and what I've said is essentially the kind of the model that I'm and the type of person that I'm looking to service. But yeah, I'm open to narrowing that down and getting some better traction on LinkedIn.
So kind of interesting listening to you, because I've spoken to quite a lot of attorneys in the last 6 months, and most of them don't speak like you. They're trying to go in at a much higher rate, and even though the private guys, and the rates are not insignificant, even though they're quote unquote on the lower end. Maybe the lowest I've heard, which apparently is low, is 2.5, and then take your pick, right? So it gets quite hectic, and so a lot of them obviously have a difficulty in being able to find a client that can pay that, because as you know, clients, legal fees are not a thing they love to pay. Accounting fees they have to. Legal fees, like, maybe it's when shit hits the fan, that's a different conversation, right? But that's not what you're talking about here. Yeah. I'm sure you obviously there's some, what I heard you saying, there's some project type stuff that might be in there, but I think you can probably up the ante a little bit, and maybe in the ICT space, or in the, as you said, you seem to be doing all right in the e-commerce space. I mean, those are the spaces where contractual stuff and frameworks and that really tend to come into play. But we'll take a closer look at that as we move in. But I think you're on your way there. You got an idea, but I think you'll benefit quite a bit from narrowing it out. So just by the way, I was waiting for this group to thin out, right? Because everybody gets all excited and they start. But as we get into like week 2 or 3, what we'll do is I'm happy to actually have one-on-ones with all of you. So and maybe we'll wait a bit just to get into it. So a lot of these things that you're struggling with, because it's like we do it, and it's good to get you to think about it, but it doesn't mean that it's easy. Like, I bet you this was a hard exercise for most of you, and it actually is. But the fact that you've given it a go and you've thought about it is really cool. And as we start to share with each other, we narrow it. But I'll happily have one-on-one conversations with all of you to help you to narrow it all out. So that, like, by the time you guys get to the end, like, I want you to know what you're doing. I want you to have like killer profiles and to really be in a position where this LinkedIn simple system that we're doing, but I really want it to work for you. And so we'll definitely help all of you guys with that. So good on you. Just hack through it. We'll pull it all together. Don't worry. Editor, you're you got to press the button.
Yeah.
That
Hello,
button,
everyone. Nice to meet you. I was actually listening very carefully about what actually idea and what are you doing, all of you guys. I'm Polish, so that's why my pronunciation is a little bit different. Where I am, we spoke already with James, and he told me that I'm a little bit scattered all over a couple of things. So maybe I will just focus myself why I enrolled to this program. It's because I recently become a business broker. It didn't come out of nowhere. It came because I'm a master in finance. I have a master in finance degree. I graduated university, and I'm pretty good with figures. It doesn't mean that I would like to be an accountant, not at all, because I still like to interact with people. And for 7 years, I was selling houses. So that's why this both two together can really work out well. Because I think that I got very, very good training so far. And right now just need to implement it on completely working with a different product like selling companies. So thinking about niche, this is a little bit catch for me as well, because I believe that first I would like to be more focused on small to medium companies. And the companies, actually, they are, if I can say about my perfect clients, it would be more such a sector that is close to my heart, more like a food providers, restaurants, more like beauty sector, hairdressers, tanning salon, a lot of this kind of things. Because first, I'm a woman. The second, I think I would be able to feel this business owners much better than any man can do. And not only business owners, also the clients they're dealing with, and what is actually moving to the like a new owner of the company, of this company for sale. I think that I would be able just to feel this company much better than any other. So this is actually what came up to my mind, and maybe I should be focused on this one instead of just like selling whatever is there. However, you know, selling other things, it wouldn't be a problem because I already have a couple of listings, and one of it, it's like a branded toolkit for plumbers. So where I can just, yeah, that's the thing. But I see that this actually comes up my creativity. I'm like more solution solver. And I think because for 10 years I was also chief editor in a magazine, but it was in Poland. When I moved to South Africa, unfortunately, I cannot just do and carry on with that. That's why I jump into the sales, because sales is meeting with people, interacting with them. It's sort of something that I really like and I really enjoyed. So this is the short thing. I don't know if I should mention about other things like inbound visas, but in South Africa, but maybe.
So hang on, take a breath for a second. So well done on focusing a little bit, and I like the way that you've done it. I also like the idea of focusing on female-focused entrepreneurs. I think that's quite a clever thing for you to do. And LinkedIn will really help you to facilitate that. So if we were just going to be confining it to the LinkedIn discussion, I would end it there. I did have a quick chat to editor a few days ago, and so what I wanted to suggest is no, talk about the other option. And the reason I'm saying that is not because you're going to incorporate that in LinkedIn, but remember, one of the big goals for us here is to get to know each other and to know what we do. And I think there might actually be a bit of a gap, because the particular people that are in this course are the type of people that would make use of that service and actually need somebody in that space. So yeah, tell us a little bit about the immigration stuff.
Like I mentioned, like before, I went through completely different industries. So from being a chief editor of a magazine, it was for a gastronomical business like Horeca, hotel, restaurants, and catering. Then for 7 years, I was selling houses, and right now it's business broker. And in the meantime, I also went through immigration. Because me coming to South Africa 11 years ago, I was struggling with this a little bit as well, but I found a very good immigration lawyer, advocate, and we become friends. And this is like from one step, like, you know, from one point to the other. I become his actually assistant, and right now we're also opening a company together, so I can a little bit advertise his job, and in the meantime advertise his services. He's been doing this since 15, 16 years, something like that, and only basics on referrals. And he's very good in what he's doing, and it also drives me a little bit as well. So the second thing what I'm doing currently is I'm preparing visa applications for inbound, meaning for people who are coming to South Africa and would like to stay for longer. There is like different ways we can apply for. Just depends on circumstances. So this immigration connects me actually, on the other hand, to the sort of clients who can look very complex service, because they come into South Africa. Most of them have really like a lot of money to come here. They just would like to be on enjoy the life, enjoy the circumstances here, and enjoy the country. And they coming and they thinking actually what to do. First, I need a house. The second, I also probably I need a business. And that's why all of this comes like together, because we're helping them to like sort their life here in South Africa. Probably it's great just to meet all of you, because like even Crystal or what was the lady, even Elwin on there was like virtual, there was another lady, actually I don't, Inga, it was, yeah, Inga. So all of them, I think that yeah, it's lovely to meet you, but maybe in the future I can even refer some business to you.
Yeah,
Because
I think you're in an interesting spot there. So people like Inga and say William, for example, they're more closely aligned to more directly, but then a lot of the accountants are the people who are going to know about people who want to sell businesses, for example. So there's quite a lot that's going to go on here. And on the other hand, you're going to find that people are going to come to you with a business and it looks like a great business, but it's just not saleable. Like it's behind on some accounts. There's a whole bunch of stuff, and you'll probably find one or two people here can probably specialize in that and sort that out. So there are going to be times when you just can't make a sale unless you speak to an accountant, and then you've got the attorney should you need that. So you're starting to see like this group has been chosen quite specifically to form around one another. So you see most of the people on here, unless it's been an accident, are quite closely related, in terms of the business space. So I think there's a lot of great opportunity for you here. Welcome, Virgil, if you can hear us.
I can. Good afternoon, Dave. Good afternoon, everybody. Apologies for being late.
All good. No worries. Bruce, you're next on my screen, so it's you.
Sorry. Yeah. Okay. So obviously, I'm a chartered accountant. I've been working in government for a number of years in the housing space, housing development, financing. So I'm now offering fractional CFO services to people in that space, raising finance for people in that space. So it's really looking at, well, I think my niche seems to be affordable housing. I have somehow picked up a pharmaceutical client, but that was a mistake. But I'm not going to throw them away because I do have experience. Before I got into government, I was in pharmaceuticals. So yeah, that's sort of where I'm at the moment. And busy picking up the phone and phoning people or contacting them on LinkedIn, people I know, people I want to, and seeing what I can do there.
Editor should be quite an interesting contact for you. You guys should definitely get together and have a chat.
Yeah,
it'd be interesting to see what develops there. All right, cool. Okay, Bruce. Thank you. Nice, short and sweet. Point. Andre.
Yeah, first of all, apologies, I couldn't attend last week. I had a bit
No worries. We thrilled you here.
Thanks. I do have a colleague in the business. We're business consultants. So my colleague focuses on training, whether it's sales training or front office or conflict management, all those typical type of training modules. And it can be webinars or it can be on-site. It depends on the client. I more have a passion for the thing that sits between our ears. So my focus is more on emotional intelligence. We do brain mapping with quite advanced AI software, international software. And the focus there is especially on your CEOs and on your executives and on the C-suite teams. The interesting thing that we do is that we can actually predict what you're going to do, when you're going to do it, and how you're going to do it in certain circumstances, because your brain is pre-programmed. And if you know what your brain is going to do, you can actually think ahead. Our tagline is thinking about your thinking. So if you start thinking about what your brain is going to do, you can manage your brain. But if you don't know what your brain is going to do, it's sort of like on a random road trip. That's why we make funny mistakes, funny decisions in life. So yeah, the whole our niche market can be either top executives, one-on-one people. talking about the life story, James. I was a CEO for a subsidiary company in a big corporate, and it's the first time in my life that I was on that level. And I walked into the directors meeting, and I was supposed to give my directors overview. And I said to the board, I said, I do have a problem. I don't know how to solve this problem. And my chairman said to me, you know what? You're the CEO. You don't come ask us for help. You come ask us for decisions. You decide what you want to do, then you come ask us for approval or not. Never again in your life do you waste my time like that by asking me what you need to do. And at that point, I realized that when you're in any of those top positions like CEOs, it's a very, very lonely position. It's a very tough position. You cannot show weakness to the people under you, and you cannot show weakness to your board. So that's why there's such an important role for consultants and mentors and people that sits next to you that you can just rub shoulders with. And for that reason, I've also done my NLP to understand the brain language so that we can help people to reprogram the brain. We can help teams to collaborate and to get a what's the word come into. Quite often in a team you sit with people that think in the same way, and in teams you actually need the different types of people, and you need to recognize them so that you can move forward as a team. Yeah, so that's in short. That's what we do.
All right, cool.
So the niche market is a problem because we work. I'm not too sure. I need your help there because we work right from individuals to teams to corporates.
Yeah, we'll sort that. It's probably not as hard as you think, because I mean I know a bit more about Andre than you guys at this point. It's quite a fascinating guy. He's actually got some serious power under the hood of what he just said. We'll give him an opportunity a bit later to talk to you about that. But yeah, you probably need more leadership, top executive type stuff. More corporate's probably going to be better suited, and of course your partner will help a bit. So we'll talk about that, and we'll put it all together for you. So it's all good. All right, lekker. Andre, that's good. Virgil, I'm going to skip you for the minute. What's happening? So you can come back later because you haven't had the opportunity to see what's up. We're just introducing ourselves very, very briefly, and then just talking about the niche market. I know that you can handle that quite well, but I'll come back to you next time. And we've done Yvonne. How's about it? Did we do Marion? We did. Yes.
I'm going to go back to Marion.
Marion, did we do you? Sorry, I'm like.
Yes.
We did. Yeah. Okay. No, we good. For a minute, like I had a brain fart, I think is the technical term. It's like, did we do her? I thought, oh my God, I've skipped her. He's gonna be so sad. All right. Yvonne, your turn.
Oh my guys, just for everybody that wasn't here on the last session. I'm an founder of 4C Global. We do affiliate and rewards programs for companies. And that kind of makes it very difficult to estimate a market, because if I'm looking at basically my client base, I have a lot of medical clients. But again, that is, but I've relied on word of mouth, and you start with one medical client, and it just kind of filters into the, but it's not specifically what it is that I want to do. So we do mostly affiliate programs. And what was that face, James?
I'm just listening to you, and this is what's working, but I don't want to do that. I want to do this. That's what I'm hearing. So I'm like nodding because like I'm like you. I know that. I know that feeling well, but we'll talk about that in a second.
It's just that I have a very good feeling about the industry, and it's not really the industry that the affiliate programs are working towards because of the legal constraints. So there's a lot of like having to a lot of things that you have to work around with each and every one of them. So that's a whole different discussion on a whole different day. But the clients that I have been looking, I've been kind of going into the skeleton of what the client's looking at, looks like. And the client that I've been working with has got anything between 1 to 40 employees. And the only thing is that they either have a product or a service that has the scope to be marketed on the affiliate type of platform, but they don't have the correct website and they don't have the correct infrastructure. And then the unique thing that 4C Global offers is the fact that, and I spoke to this with Inga the other day, is that we have an a la carte service menu. So you would book a service window of, say, minimum 10 hours a month with us at an X rate. And that service window includes all of our services. So whether you require SEO, content management, email marketing, whatever your digital strategy involves can be utilized there. And from my side, what I personally do for the company is to strategize that side to say, right, this month, this is our goal, this is what we're going to do, and that's how we're going to spend those 10 hours. So it really optimizes the client's expenditure. To not bamboozle a client into a set kind of package to say, this is the services that we have under this amount, and if you want to tier up X and Y and Z. So to quantify the kind of businesses I'm doing, I have excluded startups. I know that startups is a very good way, but I really have excluded startups because for the following reason. The amount of work that is required does not justify the financial output. I think it's something that they can do in-house. They can set the foundation in-house. This is now for startups. They can set the foundation in-house. And once they've got a bit of a conversion rate, once they've got a bit of a movement going, they can contact us and we can take over that function and they can carry on and focus on other things. That's the one thing for startups, because the one thing I like that I find that for us is to implement or to infiltrate what they've got currently, optimize the financial expenditure, and then basically streamline the activities so that we focus on revenue generating activities and not necessarily the nice to haves. Because a lot of these programs.
I'm going to rein you in there a little bit because I'm just a little conscious of time. And yes, you've got a lot going on in your mind. No wonder you are working 16 hours a day and you don't sleep. Stop all that shit immediately. I say that tongue in cheek, but actually I don't. You have made your life so difficult. Like your focus is everywhere but where it should be. You've got a core product, the one you started telling us about, not all the SEO and all the other stuff you tacked on. You've got a core product that does something core. It's working well. There's a particular type of person, type of industry, which is easy to find. You even kind of defined it yourself, right? So there's got to be industries that are not rocket science to work it out, right? In terms of who's going to be a good fit for the type of affiliate program that you create. Just go hone in, zero in on that, and just go build that. I promise you, you'll sleep more and you'll be a lot more successful than you are now. You're trying to do 7,000 things. So that's why your head is spinning. Okay. So for the sake of this exercise, I'm going to suggest to you that you just concentrate on finding industries that work for the affiliate program, right? So it's like you start with a product. This is what it does. This is what it does really well. Who does it do this thing that it does well for? And then that's your niche, right? It's not rocket science. Just apply common sense and logic and just start there. I promise you, you'll be a lot happier than you are at the moment. Okay, but we will talk because I want to chat to you about it anyway. So I'll give you some coaching when we have a chat. All right.
Okay,
cool. Thanks, Yvonne. Adil. I don't know. Adil, are you there? I think he's gone to the toilet, which is where I need to go soon.
Sorry, I'm actually driving my car right now.
Oh, all right. Well,
Yeah, that's
maybe
what my comment
maybe we
went off.
shouldn't get you to talk. Okay, so we don't need to see you. We just need to hear you. Don't crash.
Sure, yeah.
Just tell us.
So, hi everybody. I'm an attorney. I own and operate a boutique law firm based in Sandton. The core competencies of my firm are immigration law and dispute resolution. In the immigration aspects, if I can, we do all of the applications. In that line, my ideal client, James, would be an entrepreneur or somebody looking to set up a business in South Africa with a net worth of upward of 5 million. And on the flip side of the coin, for dispute resolution, it would be entrepreneurs, businessmen, and companies that either want to resolve their dispute through mediation or arbitration quietly, and if need be, through litigation.
Okay. All right. So William and Inga are definitely two people on your hit list. The three of you definitely need to chat, and maybe edit it to a different degree. So editor, if your current immigration thing falls through, deals your backup. there you go. All right. We can't hear you. You gotta put the microphone on.
Yeah. Well, I would like to say, you know what? I think that everybody's specializing a little bit in a different set of clients, and we can even help each other. I just believe that a healthy competition is like people who sometimes work together, because you know, there are different clients with a little bit different needs as well.
100%.
So I don't believe that my business will fall through.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, but I think that we can work somehow together as well.
I'm sure
And
you can.
it can be a very beautiful future, yeah.
All right. Cool. Non-tobacco. Are you on camera today? Let me just see. Looks like your mic's on. We can't hear you. Non-tobacco. I don't know if you're speaking. I can't see anything happening on the side, but we can't hear you. All right. Let me let her try and work that out. Melisizwe, while we wait for non-tobacco.
Good afternoon, everybody. I don't know if you can see me.
There we go.
That's dark. Okay,
Yeah.
that's a bit dark. Apologies for that, but at least this time I'm able to share my video. I think I kind of short-sold myself the last time. So I had a little bit of thinking. So, introduction, I'm a financial advisor with Liberty Life. I've been in the financial services industry for the past 8 years, but only been a financial advisor, kind of narrowed it down to being a financial advisor for the past 2 to 3 years. I deal with holistic financial planning for individuals. So my niche is young individuals, professionals to be exact, starting out in their careers, because I believe those I can still bend and help push them in the right direction. And the ideally between, say, the ages of 25, maybe if I'm pushing it, 45. So those are my people right there. On my LinkedIn profile, it's worked quite well for me. I've been able to deal with mostly engineers, strictly again with financial advice, with the likes of it's life, disability, trade disease. I'm sure everybody has heard the stories behind financial advisors. I do a little bit of investments, but locally. I heard somebody else speaking about something a bit more complex. What I'm looking to get into is mostly employee benefits, but obviously, or rather, I'm hoping that this group will help me expand into that.
All right.
Yeah.
Awesome. I'm actually amazed that you're about the only financial I'm going to call it typical financial advisor in the group, which is quite amazing when you consider that I have a massive network of them, and they've all been invited to this and they've chosen not to come, which is quite an interesting observation. So yeah, make hay while the sun shines, my friend. We'll narrow your stuff down, but yeah, I think you've got a reasonable idea, and you're definitely on the way. So I think then that leads very nicely into Virgil, who is I guess the last person that needs to chat for today, and then we'll put you in a breakout room. I've got a very important question that I need you to discuss, but we'll get into that in a sec. How's Virg?
I'm good, James.
Good.
No, good, no, wonderful. All right, yes, everybody. Gentlemen that spoke now.
Sizwe,
yes, welcome. Financial services industry, always good, always great. Yeah, I've been with James on a few of these, and for various reasons. Initially, it was at some point in time just to get my team of salespeople ready and active to find niche and know exactly where they find their communities and the people they'd like to service and who they go to. The next one was then to grow that base and then to recruit people. And then James and his team was able to assist with that. And yeah, I'm back here this time to sort of find a niche in terms of expanding from business perspective. So hence the comment there for Edita with synergy. You know, the whole is the sum is greater than or the whole is greater than the sum of its parts. And I think that everybody on this call that just listened to, I think there's synergy that exists everywhere. So I'm super excited, James, to be in this group and be part of this journey, and then see how best we can help to grow each other's businesses from here.
Awesome. Virgil, of course, being his typical self, has undersold himself dramatically there. But you will get to know him a lot more in this group. All of you should talk to him. He's an amazing individual, and he's got tentacles everywhere. If you need to know something, he's your guy. So all of you make a point. Trust me, you will not be sorry. And Virgil, yeah, I think you could probably get quite a bit out of this as well, in terms of some of the stuff that you're trying to do. So welcome aboard. All right.
Thanks, James.
Cool, man. All right, guys. So I'm looking at time. So I let this go a little bit more perhaps than I might normally, but because we've made that little subtle change from last time, I think this time was well spent, and it was really maybe getting to know one another. So I was going to give you a bit more time for this next piece. I'm not. I'm going to rein that in because I need about maybe 15 minutes ish. Just to finish up at the end so that I can give you your homework for next week. So what I want to do is pop you into the breakout rooms. Let's see, how many have we got here? Technically, what does my list say? Let's do. I won't. Let's see. Yeah, let's do 4 rooms. Well, assign automatically. One of you is going to get my note taker. Bruce is probably going to be you. And then I'm going to run to the toilet. And then I'll come and join one of you, depending on how this goes. So let's create that, and then let's see. That's fine. No, Bruce, you're not getting the note taker. It's not in your group this time. Let me just. We'll do a short one. I'm just gonna do like 10 minutes max for this. So you guys, obviously you can have a little bit of a chat, but I tell you what the question is. Hang on a second, goodness me. Wait a second before I put you in this group. Let me tell you what I want you to do. Almost forgot. Here's the question. Okay. So all this here, so we got a little bit of a sense, right, today of who we're dealing with, what we do. Now, this is an interesting question, and I'm not going to give you any prompts other than to answer the question. Why do people pay you? That's the question. Why do people give you money? Right? We're going to leave it at that, and I'm going to stick here in the rooms, and I'll see you in 10 minutes.
Hi guys, I'm Leslie. I'm a senior wealth specialist at Sanlam. Nice to meet you guys.
Hi, Leslie. My name is Althea. I'm a property practitioner and financial planner. I also offer CBI, so Citizenship by Investment Services. And yeah, pleased
I
to
saw
meet.
your note on the chat and I was wondering, what is CBI services?
So Citizenship by Investment. So either,
Okay, like countries like Portugal and Cyprus
Correct.
and all of these places offer
Correct,
South Africans.
Correct. So very similar to Inga's services and so forth. But I really think that, this group is like amazing in terms of overlap and opportunities to collaborate,
Yes,
yeah.
Glacier, who's one of, Glacier belongs to Sanlam and it's the biggest
Correct,
online investment platform in South Africa. And they were
Yes.
very involved a few years ago when Portugal tried to get South Africans to come and buy property. I think the minimum amount was 5 million, and then they
Yes,
give citizenship within 18 months.
Correct. That's exactly.
Yes, so Glacier, they were very involved in that.
In the citizenship, yeah. So it's lucrative if you can find the right clients. But yeah, but not many people have got like your 5 mil lying around.
Well, I think it's mostly people that are in that position where they want to take the maximum out every year, which is your 4 million. So a lot of South Africans that are trying to get money out of the country, I think those are the kind of people that that are always interested in getting something for taking the money out. So you take out your money and you buy property, but that becomes an expense. You got to get somebody to manage it for you. But at least if a citizenship gets thrown into the mix, then at least you get something out of it.
It sweetens the deal. So you've got somewhere to
Absolutely.
go.
Absolutely.
Got you.
Is it just the you and I in this chat room? I know Darwin was there earlier on, but she's disappeared now, I think.
Because I do see the note taker is that, yeah, it is a note taker. So I think it's, yeah, she did leave. Was Edith was in the group, was it?
So were we supposed to answer that question to each other? Why people pay you?
Please, yes. So why do people pay you?
So, in my industry, in the financial services industry, it often doesn't have a good reputation because there have been financial advisors. We call them in Afrikaans, we call them polismose, because they literally just try and sell a policy to earn the commission. They offer no after-sales service. If you try and get hold of them a year or two later, they vanished off the face of the earth. And I'm really very transparent with my clients, especially when it comes to investments. Even when it comes to risk plans like life cover and income protection and all of these things, I tell them that when it comes to those plans, Sanlam pays me commission. That commission that Sanlam pays me has no effect on your premium, on your benefit amounts. It does not get deducted from your benefit amounts. And more so when it comes to investments, because a lot of the guys in this industry, they don't tell the client that that commission that you earn on the investment is actually the client paying you. It's not Sanlam paying you or the investment company.
Exactly right.
It's the client paying you. And then I also tell them it's not cast in stone. It's completely negotiable because it's your money. That commission that I earn on the investment is going to get deducted from your investment amount. And then I also explain to them that the initial commission, it's a once-off amount. That's not going to hurt your investment. It's the ongoing. So a lot of guys in this industry, especially the younger guys that are trying to build ongoing income, they don't take initial commission, but they take the maximum ongoing. And then I explain to the client that initial amount, whether it's 70,000, whether it's 150,000 on 5 million, that's not going to hurt your investment. It's once off, it's gone. It's that ongoing investment. Ongoing commission that is going to have an impact on the long-term performance of your investment.
Absolutely.
And I find that most of the times when I, disclose the upfront commission, I say the maximum amount is 3% or 1.5% if it's compulsory money, they are happy to pay it because the way I explain to them in simple English that they can understand. Understand what's going on.
Quicker than expected.
Okay, cool.
Oh, is that? Oh, no.
I just got moved to a different breakout room.
Are we? Are we in a different breakout
in
room?
the main room.
Are we in the main?
In the
Yeah.
agreement.
Well, I think initially it was only Anthea, it was only Althea and I initially, and now everybody else has joined.
Everybody
Yeah.
else, I think. I don't know. Where's Inga?
Okay. Well, we were before we ended up we were 5, then we ended up 6, and then we ended up here.
Are we not back in the main room?
Doesn't look like.
Yeah, I think we are.
Are we? I
We
don't know how
can't hear
many
James.
people were in the main room earlier.
So, sorry,
James, we
guys.
can't hear you.
For our group, we didn't really get much said or done. Maybe we can do
Yeah,
that.
I thought we had 10 minutes, but yeah.
That was definitely not 10 minutes. That was 3 or 4 minutes.
No, it was longer. I think we had 5 because we were running.
But Richard,
James can't hear you still.
But to summarize, just to keep going, then maybe Richard, I would say you were selling legal services, but but underneath that package, what you were selling was compliance and a kind of safety. Legal safety.
Yeah, in essence, it's as a contractual lawyer and setting up frameworks, etc. It's more proactive. So people will tend to not, especially small businesses, want to get that stuff in order unless there's a problem. So that's kind of my sales pitch that I need to develop to get people to understand they need to get these things in place.
It's legal safety, not just the actual documentation.
And it's not defending, when the excuse my French, when the poo hits the fan, try and prevent those kind
So
of.
you're preventing the poo hitting the fan.
Correct. Yeah.
hi, Richard. That's actually very valuable what you're saying right now. And I'm sorry that you feel that it's only because European.
Ivana, are you still speaking? You muted your mic?
Oh, there we go. Okay,
Actually, I think we should carry on and let other people say what they're selling.
This is very confusing. James is talking in the background.
James chatting, but we can't hear him.
James is doing yeah.
Is he talking in the background?
Cool. I'll move on. Someone else go because we're running out of time. I think others.
Okay, Marion, why don't you go ahead?
Okay, I sell intangible stuff, so it's clarity and confidence. Where people.
Sorry, Marion. Can you guys hear me? Okay. Sorry, I need to take this back. So I know that you guys have got into the spirit, but I need to take this back for 10 minutes so I can give you some homework. So sorry about the mess. I was having some technical difficulties behind the scenes, and that's why the breakout rooms went all over the show. Not sure why, but anyway, we're all back in one place. What I want to do is I just want to share with you to run you through the last bit of homework. So the reason that I was asking you guys about what it is that you do is because of what we're going to do for next week. So I want to talk to you about this idea of coming up with your message, right? Because this is one of the biggest problems people have. And you'd probably notice that to some degree today as people were speaking. Not everybody was able to be very succinct and to say, look, that's exactly what I do. This is where I want to get you to, right? Not necessarily in terms of what you actually do everything in your business, but when you're speaking to somebody else, so like in a very short burst, you can go and explain to them in a very short amount of time, they can understand exactly what it is you do. That's where we want to get to. And so this idea of the biggest problem is very key and critical to what we do. So one of the reasons that I said to you, well, you know, what's the problem that you solve for people? It's quite an interesting question, okay? And the answer for most of us is actually we solve lots of problems. That might well be true, but what we've noticed is that most of us solve one particular problem really well, okay? And maybe we solve 2 or 3 problems really well. So the idea here is for you to say, well, what are those problems, right? Because people don't pay us, right? Well, you know, why do people pay you? People don't pay us if we don't solve a problem. So it's very critical for us that we actually solve a problem that's worth solving, right? So we solve a problem that is causing people excruciating pain. That's the best way to run a business, right? If you're solving a problem that's like an problem, then you're going to make money, right? If you solve a serious problem that causes a lot of pain, you make a lot of money. That's how it works. So my question to you is, like, well, what's the biggest problem that you solve? And so your homework, part 1, right, is going to be to think about it. So you want to list the big problems that you solve. And the interesting thing that I want to show you here is that a problem can be positive or it can be negative. So for a lot of you, that's like, what? How is a problem positive? Well, a problem can be positive, in fact. So let me illustrate with my own business, right? So I've been helping people to generate clients since I started. Now, when I started my business, I had 2 very distinct groups of people. The people on the left in the blue here, we'll call them the desperates. So these were the people that would come to me and say, James, if I do not get new clients in my business within the next 3 months, I'm going to have to close my business. Right? That's a terrible place. That's a negative. That is a proper pain. These people are not sleeping at night. The cash flow problems are overwhelming them. It's a really, really tough place to be, right? So they come from a very negative perspective, but the solution to that problem is to build a system that can generate clients, right? That solves that problem. Then on the other hand, I've got these guys on the right-hand side. I call them the progressives. Now, the progressives have a different problem, right? The progressives are not going to lose their business. In fact, the progressives are trying to grow their business to the next level. They've just hit this glass ceiling for whatever reason. Maybe the industry's changed. They're not quite sure how to get themselves out of the business. They don't know how to get new clients in. They don't know how to break through that glass ceiling or get involved in the changes in online marketing. But they've actually got a very good business. If they don't talk to me, their lives are not going to change dramatically, right? But they need to break through. And so how do they get to the next level? Well, they build a system that can generate clients without them. Right? So it's the same solution. Can you see that one problem is very negative and the other one is very positive? Now, I know what you're all thinking. You're thinking, yeah, but that doesn't make any sense. No, let me tell you what doesn't make any sense. I thought, in my wisdom, right, that the people on the left, the desperates, whose livelihoods literally depended on them getting the system right, would be my best students and my best clients. Guess what? They were not by a long shot, right? So what happened is that these people would come in and they would start the process, and then I think they would be going great guns, and then suddenly that big cash flow bogey would rear its head, and then they have to drop everything and they go and do the cash flow thing, and then they would eventually not finish. So now what's happened is they've paid money for a program that works, but they don't have the time and the application to work it, right? But they joined the program because of the pain that they were in. These guys over here, different story, okay? These guys, okay, they go above and beyond. Like you wouldn't think that they don't have a problem. They do. These guys are amazing. I had to change my whole coaching program from an hour to an hour and a half to accommodate these people. Because we get to the end of the program and we were in this, or the hour, and then we're in this great discussion of building their business, and now we've got to stop, all right? Because they put so much into it. So you can see that one is a negative problem, one is a positive problem. But what I want you guys to notice is that they're both problems, okay? In other words, people will pay money to solve them. To be fair, most people will pay more money to solve negative problems than positive problems. But some of us, right, are better off solving positive problems than negative problems. So for example, if we're looking at like the investment market, like if you don't invest now and plan for retirement, you will end up in a Zozo hut in your kid's garden. That's on this side here. Over here, on the other hand, listen, why don't you do this properly now? You can retire 5 years earlier and you can travel the world and do whatever the hell you want in retirement. See, that's the positive, where this is the negative. Right, so I want you to think about the big problems you solve. 3 biggest problems, right? I want you to find 3 big pain points you solve, and I want you to find 3 gain points that you solve, okay? This is a tough one. I want you guys to think about it. The 3 biggest ones, okay? The ones people will pay you money for. I don't want you to come tell me stuff that people don't pay for. Only the stuff they'll pay you money for. And then what I want you to do, okay, so there's a worksheet. Oh, I should have given this to you. Rats. Hang on a second. I need I'll upload this in just a second. Let me just finish and I'll quickly pop it in. Actually, I better pop it into the chat now. 1 second. Oh dear. Dear, I can't do that. I will send this out to all of you. I'll email you guys later. So you're going to fill this in, top 3 pains, top 3 gains, and then once you've done that, you're going to create a magic message. Okay, the magic message goes like this. If I could give you, okay, so you don't change that part, a result I know you 100% really want, also known as the big problem that you pay me for, that thing, right? And then you want to tell them, well, how fast can I have that solution in a specified amount of time, right? And then if you, this is kind of like a bonus, if you can eliminate an objection, so take away something that they hate, would you be interested? Okay. And this is a great way to create a value proposition because it's a question. And the human mind has to answer a question. So if you ask someone a question, they can't not answer the question. Okay. So it goes, if I could give you a result I know you 100% want. Okay. So if I could solve this big, hairy, horrible problem that you have in this amount of time, okay, without it costing you anything extra, right? Would you be interested? So here's a couple of examples. So there's our formula, right? Here's an example. So if I could give you a minimum of 2 new clients a month from LinkedIn, that would be the thing that everybody wants. When? Every month, forever, or within the next 90 days. Oh, but I don't want to pay for advertising. No, but without paying for advertising, that's the thing they don't want. Would you be interested? If you're a consultant, okay, there's 1 or 2 of you on here. If I could show you how I generated 13 new management consulting clients paying 10,000 Rand a month each, that's the thing they want as consultants. We want recurring revenue within a 45-day period, within 3 months, 6 months. Yeah, but I don't want to do cold calling for that. Okay, that's fine. Without cold calling, would you be interested? All right. My accountants and my tax people and my financial advisors, if I could show you how to save up to 15% on your tax bill, everybody wants that. All right. When? Well, maybe within the next 6 months. Yeah, but I don't want to spend lots of extra money on tax planning and accounting. No, without spending a fortune or any extra on accounting fees, would you be interested? Okay, so this is your task. You need to look into this. I want you to fill this in. There will be when I give you the PDF. I'll try and upload that in just a second. So just fill this in, right? If I could give you the big ass problem I can solve for you in this amount of time without it costing you anything extra, would you be interested? Okay, so sorry I had to rush that last bit, but I got a meeting in 2 minutes. Let me actually see if I can, in fact. Why is this?
Emails easier.
Yeah, I'm just trying to. Yeah, I can't seem to access this now. All right, let me just email everybody. That's going to be easier. But yeah, that's going to be for next week. So what's the big problem? And a magic message. Next week I'm going to put a stopwatch on you guys. I didn't do it today purposely because I know that we changed things halfway, and I actually thought we'd have more time because I was kind of judging from the size of the group when we started. I thought we'd be good to go, but I think we did all right. I think everybody got a good chance to chat today. We started to get a little bit of a sense of who we are. Do this exercise, and next week we'll pull it together.
James?
Yes.
Before you bounce, sorry, buddy.
You get a minute.
You said that you'd have a look at my LinkedIn profile. I believe it's doing very well, but of course, I'd appreciate your insights on it.
All right. We'll certainly do so during the course of events. So don't stress too much.
Oh,
all
okay,
right.
sure.
Cool.
Sure. Thank you.
All right, guys. Thanks for joining. We'll see you guys all next week. And yeah, well done today. I'm quite impressed with all of you. Everybody actually gave this some good thought and really put some good stuff on the table. So congrats. Good one.